Perspective on the platform of Discovery GVBN Radio TV, and I am still Ajayi Solomon. Before we have the short interlude, I explained what are we discussing about today, what is you and I exchanging perception about today. You know, there's these misconceptions and demystifies misconceptions about Nigerians and about what they have depressions about. What they go through, probably through a simple question and answer format. That is what you and I will be doing today, and reminds us all that depression, no, they show for face. In short, I'm saying today we'll be discussing about the tricky mask of depression and the culture of denial in Nigeria. You will call into the studio line 08021793318 +34. Drop comment on WhatsApp, drop comment on Facebook, and with us in the studio today, we have ENOCH OJOTISA'S with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you. Good morning.
Yes, it's nice to have you in the studio with us today, this morning.
I feel very happy. I'm also quite very grateful for the opportunity to be in the studio this morning.
Yes, sir. Today we want to discuss about the depression. The whole world is talking about depression, and in Nigeria, we've all once talked about it like a very long time. Like the whole Nigerians are talking about depression. But just all of a sudden, this mental illness just, I don't know, used a new mask to cover depression, and people are just denying it again. They're like, this is Nigeria, you know, they happen, you got just, you know, rise up. I'm like, oh boy, nothing they do, you do okay. Do you actually believe depression is still rampant in Nigeria? It's just a say word.
Well, let me start by saying this. Depression is not just rampant. Depression is part of the daily lifestyle of every man. Every man is prone to depression. And the truth is, depression is a mental state of health. Depression is just like your fever, malaria, just like your menstrual cramps that you have. It's not something you can run away from, but it's something you can learn to deal with if the circumstances that will aid you in dealing with depression are present. Depression is medical. It has been medically affirmed. It's a mental condition. It's a mental state of health. Do you understand? So it's something that can be addressed. But unfortunately in Nigeria, the culture of don't talk, don't say what you're going through, man up, chew up, the new culture of you are not responsible for your neighbor, you don't owe anybody, nobody owes you a dime, nobody owes you any help, has caused more, shall I say, evil end result of depression in Nigeria. And I want to use this opportunity to tell everyone, depression is true. Depression is real. Some can overcome it due to their religious background, due to their mental background, due to their psychological background, due to their financial background, due to different backgrounds, they can overcome it. Some who are even wealthy, who are rich, who are so next to God in their religious life, are not able to overcome. So the same way malaria kills everybody around the world or in Africa, and then we say, oh, how come malaria has killed this person? She won't low and don't have money. The same way depression can kill anybody, and that's why you need to speak up. You need to speak out rather. You need to talk to another person. You need to talk to the next person around you, and then that's it.
Thank you very much, sir, for that broad explanation. That depression is a common and serious medical illness that affects how you feel, the way you talk, and the way you react. And it is also different from usual mood fluctuations and from the malarias. It's a medical illness that can become a very serious health condition. You know, sadly, sir, I have noticed that in suicide cases, the victim is seen as the villain. It is not uncommon to hear comments like, that was so selfish, Why would he or she do that? Why would you kill yourself? Life is so precious. Why would you do that thing? That's not fair. That's not bad. Why are you not thinking about your parents? Why are you not thinking about your spouse or your children? But to demystify depression and hopefully help people understand why a depressed person would want to take their life, I would love to ask you this question, sir. What is the noise about depression? After all, everyone feels sad. I feel sad. We all feel sad. What is the special noise about depression?
First, let me say this. Depression is not sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Depression is not bitterness. Depression is a state of mind of hopelessness, of absolute irredeemable shame at that present condition and time that the person goes through. And emotionally, the person is unable to break forth from the shackles of that state of hopelessness at that very moment. And if care is not taken, it leads to the tantrum of suicide. Depression is an implosion of anger, hopelessness, absolute death within the state of mind of that living soul. The person who wants to kill he or herself, at that particular moment, we feel so dead already.
Yeah.
We feel like there's no reason to continue to exist.
Yes, a mind that wants to die and a body that wants to survive.
Exactly. The person's body might be fighting it. Mashi, don't do it, do it. But the person's mind, which is the wheel of machinery upon which the body functions, has already given up. And that is why when you don't hear from your neighbor, your colleague, your family, your friends, your lover, if their character has changed over the course of time, try to notice what is going on. Because at the very moment when you feel like, oh, this thing is gone, this thing is there, there's no hope. If someone else comes in at that time, the mind only needs a reassurance, a little reassurance, for that feeling to go away. Suicide can be conquered if you see another soul next to you that is about to help you. But depression takes a long while
to heal.
Now, people will always say, oh, lively people, very funny people are not depressed. That's not true. I don't have to start mentioning names of Hollywood actors, Nollywood actors, entertainers, gifted people in the sphere of politics and international politics as well, who are really who have been there for people and yet they committed suicide. Because I really don't want to mention suicide. I will probably just want to dwell on depression, because I don't know the next person that is hearing this program that might become pushed one way or the other. But I want to assure you, if you are depressed, if you are going through a difficult time, the very first step to take is to speak to anybody. I'm not saying your friend. I'm not saying your pastor. First of all, speak to anybody. Now, in the process of speaking to anybody, expect that you're just going to get every response. Every response is not the actual response you need. But the moment that you're speaking to everybody, anybody that is around you available, you are trying to walk out of the shackles of that depression. Now, you might be saying, oh, there'll be gist around me that this is what I'm going through. You see, the person who is dead and the person who is alive, there's always gist around them.
Sure.
But the truth is, at that moment while you are talking to everybody, speaking to everybody, obviously you are hearing different responses. Your mind will continue to play on their responses and left and right. And at that moment, you are going to find yourself. But to bad day more, if you just hide it to yourself, then depression continues to feed on your negative energy. By the time you speak to 1, 2, 3, Nigerians are very comical. You see, they will just tell you, guy man, you know if you kill yourself, all of us they just suffer together.
They do one together.
You know if you run, leave us. That's why Even the law frowns that when you are depressed, you try to kill yourself. After they rescue you, they will not sentence you. Go, oh, serious? All of us are in this world together. Suicide is not the next thing. See, as long as you are alive, as long as you are living, believe you me, there's always hope. There is always hope. There's always hope. Depression, you see, in Nigeria, let me say this. A lot of us need to go to the psychiatrist for medical evaluation. I'm honest with you. It is not to ridicule my country, men and women. What Nigerians have been through, what, for example, we were born into, the system of society where we are raised, the position of our leaders, of our government officials, the human facilities that we are meant to enjoy, which we now lack, the level of our gifts in Nigeria, and the circumstance of our present state of living. These things are enough to frustrate your life. I'll give you an example. When I was during my undergraduate days in Nigeria, there's this tension built around your lecturers. You can't even really ask them questions in the classroom like, Oga, I beg, this I don't understand. So I had the opportunity to have my LLM program in Ireland. And for the very first time, lecturer, I didn't even know who was my lecturer. You know, I stood by the corridor. I had a glass of stuff with me, you know. And the next thing he said was, hey, hello. I was like, no, so
Who's this old man?
I took a bow like, good afternoon, sir. How can I help you, sir? He said, no, don't bother, don't worry. I'm Dr. David. And then he introduced himself. I was like, okay, my name is Enoch. Then he said, are you here for my class? I said, I have a lecture here, international marriage, blah, 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 blah. Then he introduced himself. And guess what? After the class, he said, oh, let's hang out together at the pub. I was like, you?
Are you kidding me?
My lecturer. You know, there's this circumstance which we were raised whereby we are not even free to express ourselves. We need psychiatrist evaluation. We are so scared of every little thing in this country. We accept too much pressure. One of the very first things that particular lecturer told me was, if you're under pressure, if you feel anything, just let me know. In fact, he was, I never had that opportunity. He was so expressive. He said, if anybody wasn't feeling well for exam, they should let him know that they will take the exam subsequently when they're feeling fine.
You must.
See, in Nigeria, we take everything as a joke. Somebody says, look, I'm having a difficult time to manage my health, to manage myself. Pressure is on me. And the next thing is we'll start laughing. And it has gotten too much into us. We are so fake. Somebody who is depressed, instead of us to really help the person, we might start mocking the person. We might start carrying rumors about the person. We might start gossiping about the person. Till the person dies, one way or the other. And then we start saying, oh, he was a sweet soul. Oh,
and you really love.
Look, we all need to embrace the culture of, if you are having mental issue, go to a psychiatrist. It is not a stigma. Yaba left, Yaba right. A lot of persons who have psychiatrists treating them are actually living better lives than those who are not going to Yaba left for mental evaluation, but they have other problems. There is a popular writer in Nigeria, he doesn't hide his mental condition. He has his psychiatrist treating him. He's living better. See, once you can accept your mental state of mind and you can embrace it and understand you're going to maintain it or nurture it or anything, you are free. Depression does a lot of evil, although there's a good side to it. If you permit me, I would like to say a personal experience about depression. Maybe when we come back.
All right, sir. All right, thank you very much, sir, for that beautiful explanation. And after we come back from this short musical break, from your explanation, sir, I would love to ask you this. You said Nigeria, we all need to start speaking up, but as well, we are in Nigeria. This depression before Nigeria, we love our life, die. Is it really happening? Is this thing just Is it new to our society, or it's just a made up?
Before the advent of this political era, let's say way back from 2011, Nigerians love their lives. Before the era of can it cause suicide bombing, can it cause Nigerians know they play with their lives. Because we always believe say we go survive.
We shall go survive one day.
But there's a level of frustration that will come upon you. Things will not be the same. There is no joy in killing oneself. There is no accomplishment in it. It shows the person is simply fed up.
No matter,
and what we have to treat is what are those circumstances that are making people feel fed up. So they no longer kill themselves. In the ancient times, if not for spiritual rites or cultural custom, or the person has finally jet on, like so bad, you will not see anybody commit suicide. The best thing they do is people go on exile. They will relocate out of shame or something. But now, to relocate itself is problem.
Na problem.
Now, person will get energy for food. We don't eat.
Now ain't go relocate.
Now, person will breakfast sure for, all right, and lunch and dinner. They talk say you won't go relocate, go north or east, go they leave because of one shame or the other. Right now, people are circumstantially tired. It is those things that have brought about this tiredness we have to fight. These are the things causing depression. Parents no longer study the mental knowledge of their children. The generation of our parents, the boom generation, the baby generation, the ones before the millennia, they don't question their government. They don't question their leaders. There is no accountability. From our generation, as a millennia that I am, to the Gen Z and to the current generation of the technological born people, we have learned to question. And the fact that we are questioning our leaders and the government, the parents, everyone, is the reason why we feel rejected. And it's the reason why, see, you cannot give what you don't have. Somebody who was raised not to question, you cannot be questioning the person and the person will answer you.
Like, what's going on?
If our mothers, for example, they were not raised to question their own mothers. Mommy, please, why did you come late? I expect my wife, my children, very soon by the grace of God, to question me. Enoch, why are you doing this?
Why
are you not doing that? Why is this? Why is this? What's the meaning of this? Accountability. When you and I were young, if we say, Mommy, please, is there a reason why you're not taking me to that party? They'll say, Ma bimini berry, don't ask me.
Don't ask me any question.
You don't have to say that. Now, you grew up asking many questions. They played you down. Now, you grew up into society. Your society is filled with so many riddles. There's no one to answer your question. Not even your religious leaders. Because you cannot really differentiate between the original religious leaders and the pocket religious leaders, the Sakama and J religious leaders. Not even your lecturers are ready to answer those who have not been paid. Those who are happy, who are they answer you? Not your parents. Because your parents are looking at you that at the age of 28, you are still at home, they are feeding you. In their days, that they were already feeding their parents, they've forgotten the economic of that time, not the same economy of today. Nigeria is back to the era of economic depression. Happened in the 80s. All these things are enough to frustrate the life of youth. When we were young, they said, that is, if you study, if you read, you have official should have been. Nowadays, we have studied, we have read, we have the first pali, the first certificate, the second, the third one. In fact, there are some professors that are not as qualified as the current generation of youths because we have done too much short courses. Yet, there is no job. You drop your CV, they tell you are overqualified and the person wants to employ you. There is frustration in the land. Now, you are a young man, you have suffered too much, then you have a lady you are in talk to, or with rather. And unfortunately for you, there is another fraudster somewhere who has done something illegal, who can afford to pay abuse more than necessary. So out of your own sweat of what you have hustled for, you give her 5,000 naira. And then she says, what is this? Is it for a bag?
Is it for Gary?
Is it for yam? And another person has given her 50,000 naira or maybe 200. And then you feel heartbroken. Hope you are piling up what I'm saying.
Well, of course, sir.
From your parents to your lecturer to your religious leader to your school to government to work, now to emotional issue. Then you try many things, they are not working. That is how depression sets in. Don't forget, I told you when we come back, I'll give you a personal experience and how I battled some of my own issues as well.
We'll be in love to hear that. Right. Let's go for a short commercial break. It is still Perspective on the platform of Discovery GVBN Radio TV. Do not forget, you have any questions to ask, 08021793318 plus 34 081793318. The mask, the tricky mask of depression and the culture of denial in Nigeria is what we're discussing about this morning. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back from the short commercial break. Yes, do not forget, if you are a brand, an organization, or a name, and you want the whole world to know about what you do, reach out to us 08021793318, and we do that for you at an affordable price. It is Perspective with Ajayi Solomon, and we have ENOCH OJOTISA'S with us this morning. We are discussing about Nigeria, our country, and the burden of depression. Yes, sir, before we go for the commercial break, you promised us to tell us your personal experience with depression, on depression. Can you please, sir?
Thank you so much. A few years ago, very few years ago, not so long, I got to a point in my life where I'm this type of person who is gifted to plan ahead years. And I'm quite very fast with whatever I'm doing, because I'm a man of dedication. I'm dedicated to all the things I know I'm really, should I say, commissioned or given the opportunity to do in the world with my gifts, with my arts. So, but I got to a point whereby things just got crumbled. Do you know what it means for something to crumble?
Crumble.
Yeah. It got so bad. The first year, I held it within myself. Second, because I realized that you can tell people what you're going through, and 98% of them are only listening to you just for gist, not that they have interest in helping you. The second year, I was bottling it up. It got so bad, I started losing interest in many things. Almost the third year of depression. So, I went to visit my doctor. My doctor said, Enoch, this thing is getting bad. Placed me on some medical evaluation. And then he said, when it was the third year, he said, why don't you find something of interest? You are a man of many forms. Why don't you find something of interest to do that can take your mind away from these things you're going through? And that was how I started painting again. Because he just made mention of it, and he said, guy, depression is not for you. I learned to battle depression by challenging myself to do something I used to love, which I stopped doing as a result of the Nigerian circumstances, which we discussed the other time. I was young when one of our immediate workers said to me, only you will sing, you will paint, you will dance, you will do. He was counting my gifts. I got so afraid when I was young, and I said, okay, maybe I'll not do this one again. But
I will
realized
limit
that,
myself.
yes, I realized how much limits
Hmm.
the Nigerian circumstances has already done to me. I find it amusing when people say, Enoch, you're a lawyer. How come you're still a writer? How come you're a digital artist? How come you're this? I'm just looking at them like, I'm not the only one. You're even better than me.
Can
God
I?
created everybody, not with one talent, not with two, not with three. How dedicated you are to yourself will depend on the discovery of who you are. So, I started painting again. I've had to find the love for myself again. And that was how I escaped depression. Those who are depressed, they've never been able to find love for themselves. If they do, because they want to do, then they will.
Self-love.
Self-love. Nobody will tell you are beautiful. Nobody will tell you are handsome. You must learn to question yourself first. Why am I doing this? Why am I sad? Is my sadness going to add or subtract from the burden of my pressure? And therefore, I started asking myself questions. And because I love to question, and because I love to answer questions, I had to find ways to answer myself. Don't forget I told you, the society is your family. Society will fight you. They will not really embrace you. And yet that's the family where you come from. That's the family you have. Nigeria is my family.
Yes.
That's where I'm from. That's, as of today, that is still the international passport I carry, the label I bear on the surface of the earth. I don't know about tomorrow. History is my education. The history of myself is my education. I will never have any other education, any other knowledge apart from the knowledge of myself. The education of yourself is very important. Education about yourself, the history about yourself. What is my history? Who am I? Always ask yourself, who are you? How did you start? What were the things you used to do that made you feel like I can make it, I will make it, I should have made it, I ought to make it? And what are these things you're no longer doing or paying attention to? Not everybody, see, let me tell you the truth. Not everybody will be who they ought to be, because along the line we always fail to understand the history about ourselves, the education we ought to know about ourselves. You can go to school to be a professor, I don't care. But who are you? Who are you? Who do you think you are? Who are you nursing yourself every day to be? And lastly, the government is your reality. The government of every society where you find yourself is your reality. Your society is your family. The history about yourself is your best education. Oh, I love to eat eba. Oh, I dislike to eat eba. That is who you are. There's a reason why your body does not accept eba. And there's a reason why your body accepts eba over every other food. So try to research about yourself first. The knowledge of research about yourself is the historical education you need to forge through the pressures you're having. And lastly, the government of wherever you are is your reality. And when I say government, I don't really mean your president. No. In your place of work, in your family, in your place of hustle, wherever you find yourself, there is a government, there is a principality over there that makes your reality your reality. Even between you and your lover, there's a government at work. Your partner is your government. Your partner, he or she will determine many things about you. You take, for example, I don't want to say this because I will not embarrass my partner. But there's this thing I never used to do. I was very carefree with some things. And then she would say, what is your problem? And she found a way to make me succumb. And I started to do it. There's a change that will affect your reality once another person is involved with you.
Yes.
But you cannot scale through this life, this depression, without knowing the history about yourself and the education about yourself. That's the best education. I survived depression because I learned to question myself. Enoch, is this really you? So thing happened. Somebody lied against you. You're under pressure. This thing happened. That happened. How did you do this? Why did you do this? Fine. So what's the next thing? I learned to question myself. Fine, I nursed this sadness once in a while, but I learned to question myself till I survived it. In fact, I remember I was sharing with a brother, like, do you know I've been depressed for so years? And the person was like, what? Really? But you're always smiling. And I look at you. True people who love will never make others know what they're going through.
Yes.
If truly you're not selfish, people will not know what you're going through. Nobody would know. I remember there was time I was asking my father, blah, 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 blah. And it was through someone else. I knew some things. I was like, Daddy, is it true? And he said, come on, I have many things on my shoulder. Nobody has it right. You're going to have to figure it out yourself. Depression is real, but you have to battle it. And the reason why depression is so much or rampant in our generation is because our parents didn't ask questions. So they are finding it strange that we are asking them questions. Mommy, daddy. You people got married at the age of 20 something. Me, I don't they told me to sell her. Afana. And
what's
like,
going on?
What is wrong with you? Blah blah blah. There is a large difference in the generation of our parents and our generation. Our parents will view you questioning them as insult. We see questioning as what will happen to our ego. Please question me.
Yes, I want to answer.
I want to answer. Can we move ahead in a society where there is no accountability? Questioning? No. But we must manage these questions so that it will not become anarchy. Because there's a thin line between revolution, all right? Revolution and rebellion. Very thin line. Just like there's a thin line between life and death. Yeah. People who are depressed are people who are going through issues that no one is ready to listen to their questions. You see, even if they get people who are ready to listen to their questions, they don't mind if you cannot answer those questions. They only want people who can listen to their questions. That's why don't mock whoever comes to you to say, oh, I have this issue, I have that issue. Just try to encourage them and go. You don't have to compare your problems. You don't have to say, Nigerians, we have that very bad character. Somebody says, listen, somebody says, Baba Femi, do you know I have a headache right now? I can feel pressure in my head. Next thing you say is, look at you. Do you know my head is also doing bang bang bang?
Since morning.
I says, who is asking? Your head is doing bang bang bang, but you couldn't say it out, Abi. But someone else has said, please, I have a headache. Do you know what I can do? In fact, the person is not even asking for a solution. The person is just trying to let out that feeling so that they could at least send someone else who make you feel comfortable. Instead of to assure the person that please you'll be fine or go to hospital or get paracetamol or something. Next thing you're saying, do you know me too? I have times 2 of your headache and I'm standing. Your body structure is not the same body structure with the person complaining of headache. I've seen people till they ended it all. Nobody knew they were sad. Just after their demise, people are not writing, oh, the best soul ever, the best care. No. The signs were there. You people did not even help the person. Depression is real. Depression is, for people are even mixing up sadness with depression. You are sad. There's hope. That's why you come out of your sadness. Depression means you are feeling very hopeless. There's a shame. There's a shame hopelessness comes with, and it's called depression. Depression is the state of mind of hopelessness that comes with a huge level of shame. It comes with a huge level of shame. And that's why if care is not taken from depression, it will end in the other one, which is, God forbid. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that little say and also motivation about people who are suffering from depression and how they can help themselves. All right, sir. I would love to ask you this if you love to answer, sir.
Surely.
Suicide is preventable and depression is treatable. Depression, like most illness, requires the care of specialists, like you said earlier, the care of psychiatrists, and also the victims themselves fighting the battle themselves. What about the society? What can we do? Because there's this saying like depression, never. I am too young for that. Mental disorder, God forbid, it is not my portion. Myths, false assumptions, misconceptions about mental health, about depression. You know, it is both alarming and surprising the number of myths that surrender and that surround mental health, especially in this part of the world, Nigeria, Africa at large, where we attached spiritual connotation to anything and everything. There are many stereotypes surrounding mental illness that are both harmful and stigmatizing. For example, they say people with mental health challenges are unable to function in society. Like every day, people dress up and go about their daily lives completely undetected to be struggling from the outside. They look completely normal, but in the inside, there's a battle ongoing. So the society believe, so whenever you see someone in suits, that's the same person, but someone with dread, that's someone suffering from mental health. What can we do as a society to help to stop the stigmatization and also to help those that are depressed?
Like I said, you see, this cancel culture we have in Nigeria, I'm not sure it's in other African countries, because by the grace of God, I've been to few other African countries. All right. And I never witnessed such. I didn't go there for vacation. I've lived in a few African countries, and I wasn't treated like that. In Nigeria, we have this cancel culture. You know what I mean by cancel culture? We don't accept reality in Nigeria. We are always, shall I say, accosted by the same shackles of temptation all the time. We must embrace visiting our mental doctor, psychiatrist, the same way we visit our general practitioner, our GP, our normal doctor in the hospital for checkup. Do you know that it took Nigerians many years to realize that going to hospital to do malaria parasite test is also, going to your dentist to check your teeth, the health of your mouth, is as important, even probably more, than is as good as going to hospital to check for your malaria parasite test. A lot of Nigerians don't know that it is good that they have to visit their dentist once or twice in a year. Now, in this studio, for example, how many persons have gone to visit their dentist before? Secondly, do you know that it is also important to visit your ophthalmologist 4 to 5 times in a year, depending on your level of eye condition? How many persons here have gone to visit the ophthalmologist this year? We're in the month of November. If we cannot treat our teeth, our mouth, with so much caution and love that we used to feed and eat every day, our eyes, that is the light of the body, how then do you think Nigerians will now treat going to psychiatrists for mental evaluation? They will not. We cancel what we don't understand. We cancel what we don't know. We cancel what we don't appreciate. And that is the bedrock of our problem. Anybody who is going through depression needs to be helped. Encouragement. Learn to encourage your neighbor. You might be doing the biggest miracle at that moment. You see, it's a big miracle when you can raise the dead. But I tell you, it is a more glorious miracle if you can sustain the living from becoming the dead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. That we all have a role to play in encouraging people experiencing these symptoms of depression to seek help from a psychiatrist, and also lending a listening ear and encouraging hand. And it's not only those who are easily identified as mentally ill by our society that should see a psychiatrist. It is also worth noting that any ill patient goes to a doctor for consultation in the hope that through their expertise, the person could get more needed help. Thank you very much, sir, for that beautiful answer concerning what we can do as a society to help those that are depressed. But because of our time, sir, I will ask you this question and more or less like admonish. You've said it earlier, but I want you to say it again. Society, Nigerians, those that are depressed and those that think they are having symptoms of depression, what do you think they can do physically that will help them, mentally that will help them, and also probably medically that going to seeing their doctor and psychiatrists?
I said it at the time. While I visited my doctor, One of the very first things he told me was, the cure to depression is in your hands. If I pop you a lot of pills to use, I'm only adding to it. So the very first thing I did was to question myself. I had to sit down. I started thinking. From the very first day, my brain can still take me back to when I came to the world. The first day I understood reality that, okay, I'm alive and my name is Enoch. And I'm living as a man amidst these humans. I started questioning everything about myself only. Secondly, I stopped finding fault in what people did to me. I had to look for faults from myself. Would these people have done this to you if you didn't allow it? Thirdly, I embraced myself by looking for strength and what would challenge me to forget all the things people have done. After all, vengeance, they say, belongs to God. Fourth, I understood the reality of the society where I am. That before a creative mind like myself will be heard and celebrated, it will take years. I understand the fact that the years of Chinua Achebe and Soyinka is not the same era where I find myself. In their days, there were few. In my days, there's a lot of us. So I've learned to sit and work more in silence. Those days when I was in student unionism, it was about protests. We made known our demands by protest. But now that I live as who I am, truly, I've learned to deal more with life in silence by challenging myself every day. There's a level you will get to with your work, with yourself, with your silence, with your dedication. Then everybody will know that, okay, this person is different. You think the pressure of sadness will end, you deceive yourself. If you have all the money in the world, something else will be missing. Maybe good health, maybe a good spouse, maybe children. Maybe you'll not be getting true love from your people. One thing we always miss, and in as much as some things we miss in life from what we think we should have or what we have, then there's no reason for us to be sad. People will continue to offend you. In fact, people will continue to plot evil against you. It is left to you to find a good relationship with yourself, but more importantly, with the God you think you serve. I just believe that what goes around comes around. I will never allow depression to swallow me. So wherever you're listening to the spell of my voice, depression is true. It is a state of hopelessness that comes with a shame. But you don't have to allow it swallow you. Stand up and challenge yourself. Ask yourself questions. Look for who you are. Find who you are by answering yourself. Nobody will find who you are for you. Then continue to work hard. Continue to live truly. Love one another. Love everybody around you. You don't have to hate on anyone. Forget vengeance. Concentrate on love. Love will propel you faster than vengeance will. And forget the fact that you will have it all in life, or that people will not offend you. It is possible you are also offending another person right now. Let love lead. Love yourself. If you decide to get depressed and you kill yourself, the world will move on. It is possible nobody will even remember that you were once wronged. But if you survive and you continue to live, then they will testify, maybe years, maybe months, maybe weeks, maybe days, maybe hours, that truly you loved and that you're still loving. Be kind to yourself. Depression is true. It is real. Circumstances that will make you depressed are around you. I know. But you don't have to give up. You don't have to listen to what the economic hardship, the frustration from wife, husband, children, families and friends, girlfriend, boyfriend is having on you. If you die, they will leave. So it's better you leave and allow depression to die it's better you focus on yourself. I'm not the kind of author who would tell you that depression is not true because I want to please you. Depression is true. In fact, I'm not the kind of person that will tell you that sins or temptations are not around you. They are around you, and I will tell you the bitter truth. That bitter truth is what I'm telling you right now. People will still plot against you. You cannot please everybody. I've tried to please people, to please everybody, and I realized that I displeased myself. Self-love is the foundation of fighting and defeating depression. I now love myself. I now put myself first. I want to satisfy myself with the little Asheda has given me. That's how to fight depression. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that. That's powerful coming from you. And we have to go. As Yoruba says, when he, forgive me if I don't get it right, when he ashonla kole yonla. Oh, come on. I don't know if I get that right. Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, whenever you see someone in suit, that doesn't mean the person is okay. Yes. Whenever you see someone in dread, that doesn't mean the person is suffering.
Our leaders wear the best about that.
That's it.
You think they are not depressed?
Oh my goodness.
The fact that they're flying in private jets and they are hoarding dollars.
You know, living in luxury. No.
They are depressed.
Responsibility.
They live on antidepressants. They have to pop pills all the time. You think they are not depressed? They are depressed. And if they weren't that depression, I don't know. All I know is I love myself.
Yeah.
So make they go. I won't go write poem. I want to deliver a poem. I won't go write. In case anybody want to write poem, I'll not charge you that much.
Can you hear now? Yes.
And I won't go sell my paintings too. I hope you not charge me for advertising on your program.
Oh, God forbid.
Anyway, charge me. My comrade is there. Brala Olu. He has money. Odogu.
Odogu know the button up.
This one is not Odogu. This one is Odogu.
Odogu.
Brala Olu Odogu.
Yes, thank you very much, sir, for
he
today.
He has promised us pepper soup this afternoon.
So my God. Okay, I have nowhere to go. So I'll be it.
We'll finish this program on time. We'll go to pepper soup.
Pepper soup. Oh yeah.
Brala Olu, we wait for you.
Now you with the hello.
Hope say you don't pack your car outside studio. We'll go to pepper soup.
Pepper soup. Now the thing we want.
Yeah, bye.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much for honoring our call today. And in case you're just joining, we talk about depression and the burden of depression in Nigerians. We also talk about the support of family, friends, faith community that is also vital, and also knowing how to respond to anyone experiencing depression. It is crucial also to love yourself. Put yourself first. My name is Ajay Solomon, and I will be here for 10 a.m. 10 a.m. to when we are released. It's it's an honor to have you here on the show.
I appreciate it, my brother.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Yes, we have a host of professionals in the building. We have Oladende Michael, DJ Mickey, Onisade, Mr. Femi Ojuigu, Mr. Richard Owens, and also we have
this guy is going to chop your head.
Olondade Joy Oluwambo. Yes, do not forget as well that GVBN Radio TV is organizing GVBN end of the year programs. Who wants to Zapa and a host of others. So if you want to register and you are, you want more inquiries about it, you can also reach out to us 0021 0021793318. Yes, we have comments here. KAS, that's Kolade Samuel Abe, says lovely show. Thank you very much, Brakolade Samuel Abe, all the way from United Arab Emirates. Yes, as I'm saying,
I hope he's going to send us the Rams for the end of the year.
Of course. We are expecting that from you, sir.
He's going to send us the Rams. And also, maybe he's going to send us some Rolls Royce.
Oh my
camels.
God. Hey, Shikiri.
You know. And is it Jalabia? Is it called Jalabia? Those long.
Jalabia, yes. I want white, yeah?
Actually, let's go for black.
Black.
The nude black is like.
Yeah, just black. Mr. Sakoladi.
So it's that what's it called? That headgear.
Yes, that big one. That big one. Yeah. God bless you, Sakoladi.
Camel.
On it.
For Ibadan.
Yeah, for this on your state.
Road.
Oh my God. It don't finish. Yes, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Up next is Sport News on the platform of Discovery GVBN Radio TV. Stay safe, stay jiggy. Bye for now.
live.